Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Brew City Lounge. I am your host, Brandon. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Wisco_Brandon. This is a special edition of the Brew City Lounge. We are live and local at American Family Field. I am sitting here holding an umbrella. I told you guys that I would come in here and do a live show, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are in the parking lot with all the Brewers fans, 50% capacity. And we are so excited. It's a great vibe. The weather's not great, but that's okay because we're out here and we're enjoying the festivities. The grills are hot, the drinks are cold, and that's what matters. The news crew is running around. I.e., if you turn on TMJ4 tonight, you might just see me on there. Super excited to be coming to you guys live. Brewers versus Braves. Last night they dropped game one. Again, kind of the same story with the Milwaukee Brewers. The offense is nowhere to be found, and the pitching was unsustainable. Adrian Hauser goes two innings. He got roughed up in that third inning, and out came the bullpen, and it kind of was a story as it has been for the last few weeks. So we're anxious to see how the Brewers respond tonight. Brett Anderson on the mound against the Braves' Ian Anderson. Very excited to see how the offense, whether they get going or whether they don't get going. It's going to be the test of the weekend. Again, like I said prior going into this week, the Braves were going to be a test on how good this Brewers team stood in the National League. You see that they dropped 2 out of 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals, a divisional foe. And once again, you're seeing where the Milwaukee Brewers stand. Now, with that being said, we also got to keep in mind that we do not have 2 of our best hitters, if not 2 of the best hitters on our team. Keston Hiura and Christian Yelich, both on a rehab assignment last night. From what I was able to catch up on and read about, they did fairly good. Christian Yelich did go 0 for 2, and he did only play 3 innings. And Keston Hiura also had actually had a really good game. Christian Yelich is also in the lineup tonight, and so is Keston Hiura. Keston Hiura is kind of turning it around, 4 for 8. And all 4 of his hits have been doubles. And as we know, as Brewer fans, Keston Hiura, that's what he does. That's what's made him, the player and the offensive player it is today. So it's exciting to see. Hopefully you get those 2 guys back. It's going to be interesting going forward with the Milwaukee Brewers, how they respond. Again, Brett Anderson on the mound tonight. Freddie Peralta goes on the mound tomorrow. And again, if you guys are just tuning in, I do appreciate it. We are live from American Family Field here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're braving the weather conditions. We're doing what we can, and we're having a good time. It's good to be back into the parking lot. It's good to be back into the stadium. We got all kinds of fans running around, playing cornhole, drinking beers, eating brats. It's phenomenal. I'm excited to see what the stadium looks like with 50% now. Keep in mind, the last Brewers game I went to, where there was no COVID restrictions, it was 100%, obviously. So I went to a couple games with 25%. I'm curious to see what it's going to be like with 50. And if you guys didn't hear the news, I know I announced it on my show yesterday with Zach Gelb of CBS Sports Radio. American Family Field and the Brewers and the Milwaukee Health Department declared 100% capacity starting June 25th. And that's absolutely great news. It's very exciting to see the stadiums, kind of the world kind of going back to normal. So we're excited to see with that going forward. Again, if you guys are hopping up on the live feed, I see a few of you on there dropping comments. Hey, appreciate you guys. This is a live pregame show from American Family Field. We're just previewing the Milwaukee Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves. Game 2 of this series. The Brewers did drop game 1 last night, 6-1. Again, story of the season. Offense continues to be a no-show. Hitting with runners in scoring position. The Brewers didn't score until very, very late in the contest. So you would hope that going forward that this team kind of bounces back a little bit and responds in a positive way. We got fans all over walking around, and the environment down here is phenomenal. If you are in the area, if you're watching this show, hey, come stop and say hi. We got a bunch of beer. We got some Jello shots. We got margaritas. We got all kinds of great stuff. So we're excited to come to you guys live from AmFam. I do plan on doing this a few times throughout the season. Again, I only live a few minutes from the stadium, so this is what I love to do. This is exactly what, as starting a podcast and talking about our favorite teams in our city. This is what we're expected to come. We're out here at American Family Field. We're getting a vibe of the crowd. We're getting a vibe of the fans, and we're just having a blast. And again, it's raining. I'm holding an umbrella for myself, watching you guys walk up to the stadium, and we got so many fans coming out. The kids are out here having a great time. We're out here by the playground, and it's just a great time. But as I said earlier, we're here to preview the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Atlanta Braves. Exciting to see what we do going forward as a team. You hope the starting pitching can retain what they've been able to, start with. And it's a long season. And as a fan, we know that. We know what's going on with with this team. Injuries have been a part of the stories to start the whole season. Again, Christian Yelich has only played in one game since April 11th. That's a big hit on your offense. You're talking about, a silver slugger and an MVP. I mean, it's a big deal. So once I think we get Christian Yelich in there, we're gonna have some positivity going forward with this offense. Again, Yelich's rehab assignment last night, he did go 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He did play 3 innings out in left field, so that's positive. And again, he's in the lineup today, so we're excited to see going forward. Obviously, with him playing that game, his back is obviously feeling a lot better. So going forward, you're positive about that. You feel good about that. Keston Hiura is back in the lineup as well. Again, like I said earlier, he's gone 4 for 8 so far. All 4 of his hits have been doubles. So you like to see Keston Hiura putting the bat on the ball, especially with his early season struggles. What Keston Hiura is in the major leagues for is because of his hitting. If you've watched him play second base for a day, you probably realize that he is not in the major leagues because of his defense. So getting his bat in the lineup is pivotal. Getting him back get his confidence going is absolutely pivotal going forward. Offense, again, continues to struggle. Runners in scoring position prior to last night. The Milwaukee Brewers were 2 for 31 with runners in scoring position. You're never going to win a game like that. You're never going to win a series like that. Going forward, this offense needs to have timely hitting. They need to have consistent hitting, and they need to have clutch hitting. If that means guys coming off the bench, again, you could pin all the excuses if you want, with Christian Yelich being out, Keston Hiura being out, Lorenzo Cain, Jackie Bradley Jr., guys like this have got to step up. They've got to be able to take the lead role on this team and know that your best players are not in the game. You got to be able to hit with runners in scoring position. Going 2 for 31, going 0 for 10 against the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 3, a game where Corbin Burns set Major League Baseball history and also pitched 8 innings and still my sister's over there taking pictures of me, throwing me off. Still went 8 innings pitching, and he allowed one run in the first inning and took the loss. That's absolutely it's unexcusable. The offense has got to do better. So going forward, you hope that this offense can get going. Craig Counsell was quoted last night saying they're going through a rough stretch. Obviously, everybody knows that they're going through a rough stretch. So it's something that we got to address. Craig Counsell's going to get a lot of heat for it right now. There's a lot of people going off on Twitter about Andy Haynes and what he's going what his job security is like. And so going forward, we're going to have a lot of questions hopefully be answered. Joining now on the podcast, actually vice president of the network, Mr. Rhino Alberts. You can find him on Twitter at Sports Talk Rhino. He joins me, guys. He's not a Brewers fan, but it's okay. It's okay. He's a good guy. He's out here.
I can tell you this, though. As a Cubs fan, and I apologize to offend anyone out there. As a Cubs fan, I actually prefer Miller Park over Wrigley Field. I'll come here for any game. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They could be playing the Albuquerque Dragons. It doesn't matter. I'm coming here for a game all day.
And that's what's great about coming out to this stadium, because, I just actually got done talking to a news reporter, and she's brand new to the area. She's from Miami, Florida. And she didn't understand why the stadium was built in the location that it's being built in. And I kind of explained to her real quick, as you can kind of take a look. This is what we do. We tailgate. We get out 3 hours. We were in line before they were open.
Right off the interstate.
Right off the interstate. And we were here before they were open. And we're getting ready to pop up tents, bring coolers, tables. People are out here playing cornhole. You got kids playing baseball, catch football. There's a park right next to us. The environment You can't beat it. You know, it's great to be back. Obviously, with COVID, the restrictions are being peeled back, as I talked about yesterday on my show, going to 100% June 25th. We got buses and shuttles rolling in. It's just it's a great environment. It's a great time, and we're excited. Hopefully, this offense gets rolling. Rhino, what are some of your thoughts? You're obviously not a Brewer fan, but you're watching them, you know, whether it's on TV or against the Cubs. What are your thoughts going in with this Brewers team?
Well, one of the things that you have to remember right now is it's May. A lot of teams are going to be slow in May. A lot of teams are going to be, you know, they're not going to be a 10 out of 10 team in May. I mean, I can remember as a Cubs fan in 2016 when we won the World Series, there was a 35-35 stretch the Cubs went on in a 70-game stretch. They were 500, and they still went on to win the World Series. It doesn't matter. It matters, but it's not as important what you do in May. A team isn't defined by their play in May. A team is defined by their play in August and September. We've seen what this Brewers team can do in August and September. We've seen the runs that they're capable of going on. We've seen Yelich have historic months in August and September. We've seen him win an MVP based off of a month and a half of play because that's how clutch he was to his team. So to all the Brewers fans out there, what I would say is relax. To take a page out of Aaron Rodgers' book, relax. Let this team do what they're going to do. They're capable of being one of the best teams in baseball, and I have no problem admitting that as a Cubs fan. They've got the pitching. They've got the hitting. Obviously, apologize with this massive diesel bus coming behind us, but with Christian Yelich being, you know, hurt the way he has been over the last couple of weeks, of course, play hasn't been as good as it, you know, was anticipated, but I think the best the Brewers have is in front of them. So I wouldn't put all of your eggs in one barrel yet. Wait for June, wait for July. When this team gets hot, they're going to get hot. And they're going to win a lot of games come summertime.
Guys, apologize if you are on the broadcast, and we do appreciate it. Hey, if you're on Twitter, drop a comment, Facebook.
We did have one comment. Who is starting tonight for the Brewers?
Brett Anderson versus Ian Anderson for the Braves. Brett Anderson is 2-2 right now with a 3.54 ERA. Going up against Ian Anderson. I don't know if there's any relation. I doubt it, but he's going 2-for-1 right now with a 3.46. So pretty evenly matched up as far as the pitching go. Again, as it stands, as it's been the story of this Milwaukee Brewers team, it's offensively. What you're going to do with runners in scoring position. Guys are leading off with lead-off doubles, and you're not batting them in. You're not even moving the runners. 2 nights ago, Avi Garcia leads off with a double, and he's stuck at second base. It's absolutely unexcusable at this point. Move the runner, put the ball in play. Now, I'm not calling for Andy Haynes' job. I'm not calling for anybody's job. At this point, like I said it yesterday on the show with Zach Gelb, again, find me the show on Twitter, on Facebook, at Brew City Pod. I said it yesterday. This team, these are professional players. Colton Juan, Lorenzo Cain, Jackie Bradley Jr., Daniel Vogelbach. These are professional hitters who have been in the major leagues for 5+ years.
If I may, real quick, I think the biggest problem that hitters for the Brewers are having right now, especially when it comes to runners in scoring position, is pitch selection. And that's something that you'll see.
Brewers on state, go Brewers!
Yes, sir.
Go Brewers!
Yes, sir.
They're lively out here. They're going. They're having a blast. All the shuttles are starting to come in. But go ahead, Ryan.
One thing that you could probably point to with the Brewers' lack of production with runners in scoring position is pitch selection. You know, and that's something that is a common occurrence with teams in May at the beginning of the season. We haven't really hit the stretch yet with a lot of these teams. A lot of these guys are going to start taking the pitches they shouldn't be swinging at and swinging at the pitches they should be swinging at. And that's something you'll see with a lot of the Brewers hitters come June, come July. The hitting with runners in scoring position will come around. It's just all it is pitch selection. You have to look for the pitch you want to hit and hit it. It's that simple, but it's something that'll happen. So like I said, relax.
Getting to a couple of your comments out on the live feed, Tony drops a comment. He's on Twitter. He said, it looks cold there. It's actually not bad. You know, we're not doing too bad. It's raining. But it's a little bit, the wind has died down a little bit, so it is warming up. Hey, a couple of weeks ago, I put on the show, and I said, thanks for putting a roof on it. And I took a lot of slack on Twitter. If we didn't have a roof on this beautiful American Family Field right now, we would be getting the game called off. So we got a roof. The stadium inside is going to be beautiful. Again, that is Sports Talk Rhino. Find him on Twitter. If he does look familiar, it is because we do the Packers, the Titletown Lounge live every Sunday, guys. And we got a really fun guest tomorrow. If you are a Packers fan, and I know most of you guys tuning into this Brewers show, you guys are Packers fans. Tyler Dunn of Goal On TD joins the show tomorrow. We're going live at 11:30 Central Time. Get on that. Get on Twitter. Get on Facebook. Get on YouTube. join the Packers, the Titletown Talk. We're going to have a blast talking to him. A lot to talk about, unfortunately, with the Green Bay Packers surrounding the Packers. They did start rookie minicamp, but we'll get into all that tomorrow. We are breaking down the Brewers and the Braves. Again, Adrian Hauser takes the loss last night. Kind of got roughed up. He looked pretty solid going into the first and second inning. He took a liner off his leg in that third inning. He had guys on first and third, took a liner off his leg, obviously drove in a run, and he was kind of never the same from there. And again, as the last few weeks with this team have been, I don't put any blame on these starting pitchers. With the Brewers right now currently stand at 20-19, and to be honest with you, without that starting pitching, they're probably 10 to 15 games under 500. So the starting pitching has been phenomenal.
I mean, that's been their MO this year.
It's been
when you have great starting pitching, you score 1 run, 2 runs. So
you would hope that eventually the offense is going to get going.
Yeah.
You can't imagine that the offense is going to be this stale for as long as it has been. Now, they have struggled. Obviously, in Philadelphia, they struggled scoring runs. They struggled down in Miami. They did win that series 2-1. Took a late inning win by Billy McKinney to secure that win. And then going into this week, I said it. You're playing the St. Louis Cardinals and you're playing the Atlanta Braves. Now, the Atlanta Braves sit at 18-20, 2 games below 500. It's a little bit of a surprise, but they're a good team. I mean, they're a great team. So I think going into this week, you were going to see where the Milwaukee Brewers stood with the rest of the National League. Obviously, the Cubs are going to be there. And again, I said it on my show yesterday. I think the Cubs are underperforming right now. They're a good team. They're going to be there at the end of the year. Obviously, the St. Louis Cardinals are going to be there at the end of the year. And then you would hope that this Milwaukee Brewers team is going to be there at the end of the year. It is going to be a fun division. It is going to be a competitive division. You would hope that all those teams, really any team, stays healthy. You want to see guys like Christian Yelich and Keston here get back out there. You hope that with their rehab assignments down in Nashville, again, they both played last night and they both stayed in the game and they both are in the lineup for today. So that's positive news because we know when Yelich left the game when they played the Philadelphia Phillies, that next day he was not in the lineup. So seeing him back in the lineup for tonight is absolutely positive. Craig Counsell was quoted last night as saying they think they turned the corner. So that's absolutely positive news.
When you see him in the lineup consistently, when he is in the lineup back-to-back nights, then you're obviously making a positive progression with him. So having him back in the lineup on a consistent basis will obviously raise the offensive production out of this team. And Hira coming back, obviously, you stated it earlier, Hira is in the lineup for his bat. He's not in the lineup for his defense. He's in the lineup for his bat. And with the production you can get out of Hira's bat, you want him in the lineup if healthy. So when this team is healthy, they're one of the best teams in baseball. They showed that a couple of weeks ago when they had the best record in baseball for a week stretch. So when the bats are there, the production will be there.
And that's going to be the big question is when, again, and I said it a few times before, nobody in this lineup right now, as it currently stands, again, Ian Anderson versus Brett Anderson tonight, first pitch, 6:10 Central Standard Time. No pitcher going against the Milwaukee Brewers currently is fearful of anybody in the lineup. You don't got guys like, again, Ian Anderson, Drew Smiley went last night, that are going up there and being like, okay, Billy McKinney's in the 5 spot. As good as Travis Shaw and as clutch as Travis Shaw has been, nobody's going into this lineup saying, oh boy, we got to be careful. The Brewers hitters are not stressing out the defense. They're not putting the ball in play. They're dead last in the National League in hitting. They're second from last in the major leagues in offensive production. And they're striking out more than any other team in the National League by far. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think that, it would probably be a lot to a little as far as the difference between the Milwaukee Brewers and the team up front. It's putting the ball in play. We saw it against the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 2. Daniel Vogelbach struck out a pitch that wasn't even catchable. Again, he didn't put the ball in play, but the ball got put in play. He got to first base. Travis Shaw's next at bat. He ends up hitting a double, and eventually the Brewers win that game. It's all about putting the ball in play. So going forward, if you're not going to be able to, throw 6, 7, 8 hits a game, at least get the ball in play. Make the defense work.
Well, another thing you have to keep in mind, too, is the Brewers have made a name for themselves as one of the better teams in baseball over the last couple of years. So when you have these guys coming up who are not your team's ace, who are not your team's number one starting pitcher, you're going to get their best every time because they have that confidence. Like, oh, I'm facing the Brewers today, so I need to be on my A game. So we're getting crap from Brandon's dad right now. Great guy. At least I'm a Packers fan, Dad.
I'll give you that. You were half right.
We're getting slack from all over. All the fans walking to the game.
Back to the point that I was making is you're going to get the best out of every single pitcher that takes a mound, whether it's the starting pitcher or whether it's a relief pitcher. You're going to get their best because they know they're playing the Brewers. They're playing a team that's going to eventually contend for an NLCS championship. So pitch selection is going to be key. Swinging at pitches outside of the zone is what's going to give you the results the Brewers have had over the last couple of weeks. Take the pitches you need to take, swing at the pitches you need to swing at. It's that simple. I know it sounds that simple, but it is that simple. Yeah. So it's something that can be corrected over time. And I think once you get guys like Keston Hiura back, guys like Christian Yelich back, this team will start putting up runs and they will put them up in a fury.
If you guys are looking at that handsome gentleman behind me, that is the president of the Lounge Room Network. Guys, this network is absolutely phenomenal. Literally a podcast for pretty much every team out there. There's some stuff behind the scenes that are going on right now. I am joined by, obviously, Rhino. You can find him on Twitter at Sports Talk Rhino. He is the vice president of the network. And the guy behind me wearing that awesome Christian Yelich jersey,
this handsome devil,
Juan, you can find him on Twitter at Bears Fanatico 94. And we're super excited to take this network and to see where it's going. Juan, I think we're about to get kicked out of the parking lot right now, but hey, he's gonna come right back. So going forward, the Brewers did drop the lineup. You're gonna, again, no matter who's in the lineup, no matter who's batting where, it's all about what this team does with runners in scoring position, putting the ball in play. Hopefully that, going forward, that, getting some of these guys back healthy. You would hope that, being home for the last 6 games, they would get going. It seems like every Brewers game, it feels like every deep hit to the outfield is falling down at the warning track, and it's good to see that the ball is not juiced this year, I guess, but maybe at one point we do want it. We want it juiced, and we're still figuring out if we're going to get kicked out of here. We're not totally sure. We're getting the stank guy. I don't know what we're doing.
That gentleman just said you won't.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I thought.
No, it's like not yet.
Oh, so right. Yeah. So we're just sitting here talking Brewers. We're again live from American Family Field. This is the Brew City Lounge coming at you live. We're about an hour, exactly about an hour going from the Brewer game. I am curious to see exactly what these lineups do look like. I think that, again, Brett Anderson has his first start coming back. It's going to be interesting to see how long he goes, how strong that bullpen's going to be, who you're going to grab out of that bullpen. The bullpen was worked pretty good last night. Obviously, Adrian Hauser only goes 2 2/3 inning, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly where this starting pitching and how far Brett Anderson does go.
The biggest thing with this starting pitching right now is they have got to get depth. They have to go deep into games. They have to give this team 6-7 innings of quality baseball, quality starting pitching. If you can do that on a consistent basis, the hitting will eventually come around. Give the hitters the confidence, like, listen, guys, I'm going to give up 1 run. I'm going to give up maybe 2 runs in 7 innings. I need you to do your job now. If you can give your hitters that kind of confidence, like, it's on me. Just do your job. That'll be huge going forward.
And we do have a starting lineup here. We'll go from the top to the bottom. Leading off and playing second base, Colton Juan. Batting second, maybe a little bit of a surprise, obviously with his offensive production, probably the best bat you have in the lineup. Playing catcher, Omar Narvaez. Batting third, right field, Avisail Garcia. Batting cleanup, first base, fan favorite, Daniel Vogelbach. Batting fifth and playing third base, Travis Shaw. Left field, Tyrone Taylor. Center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Urias, and pitching, obviously, again, we talked about it before, Brett Anderson. So the lineup has been pretty consistent. These are the same guys that have been in the lineup really from the start of the season. So, again, what's going to change? What can change? So going forward, we're excited to see what's going to happen. I think we're going to have a good game. My prediction is it's going to be a low-scoring game. Both these pitchers have been pretty solid. Obviously, Branderson's coming off the aisle, so it's going to be interesting to see where he's going. Rhino's got him at 4-2. I'm going to go 5-3. The Milwaukee Brewers edge out the Atlanta Braves. Again, guys, this is the Brew City Lounge. We're coming to you live. I'm bringing you a live podcast from American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So glad you guys tuned in. Appreciate the support. If you're on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, keep the support coming. It's so much greatly appreciated. Look, without you guys, we couldn't do this. Follow the network at Lounge Roomnet. Follow me on Twitter as your host. I tell you guys every week. That's all right if you forget, at Wisco_Brandon. And again, catch us tomorrow. Me and Rhino will be live with Tyler Dunn on the Titletown Lounge. Follow that page at Titletown Lounge. Super excited to get his thoughts on the Green Bay Packers. And yeah, so we're going to wrap up this show. Again, just a short little pregame episode. I'm glad to see you guys dropping in. If you're Caleb, Noah, Tony, you guys are dropping in on the live feed. I do appreciate it, man. I see your guys' comments. Go Brewers, go Bucks, and everybody have a great night.